best goal, Rory.
I mean, the best goal is non-negotiable, isn't it?
Garnacho.
Yeah.
Has to be, doesn't it?
Like Alejandro Garnacho's goal. Arguably, that isn't just the best goal this season. That is arguably the best goal, one of the best goals at least that the Premier League's ever seen.
It would be up there, wouldn't it?
It's up there. You know, if you measure every bicycle kick on the Richter scale of Trevor Sinclair,
yeah,
this is comparable. I think this is comparable with the very best. I didn't think what Trevor Sinclair did against Barnsley off the back of that fairly wayward Danny Maddox cross. What Trevor Sinclair managed to improvise and do, I didn't think could ever be improved upon. And Garnacho may have just about done it.
Especially when you look at like the comparison to the Wayne Rooney one where it hits his shin.
Yeah, Wayne Rooney shinned it. What I really like about Garnacho's is you know the double leg movement.
Yes.
Like it wasn't a hook; it was an actual bicycle kick. It was like a double bam bam. It was everything that you want. It was an awkward cross, an awkward height, moving away from goal against an excellent goalkeeper in a very raucous atmosphere away from home. I think it was everything.
I agree. So that mine and Rory's together, we've actually agreed on this. Chelsea and Tottenham coming together on this one.
Yeah.
Garnacho's goal for Manchester United at Goodison Park was absolutely phenomenal. The next one, the best signing, of course, is easy. This one, isn't it? Onana. No. Who's been the best signing this season so far?
I think it's a toss of a coin between two players.
Okay, who are your two players?
I think it's James Maddison or Declan Rice, with maybe an honourable mention to Vicario.
So I would, I'm gonna. I know it's gonna sound like Spurs bias, but it's not, because when you change that number one position in your team, you're changing the goalkeeper. It is jeopardy at its highest, really, isn't it? And you go from World Cup winner Hugo Lloris, who obviously lost a bit of form towards the end of his career, but at one point definitely one of the best goalies in the world. Vicario coming in for the price. Look, Declan Rice was a dead cert, in my opinion. Even at 105 million, you knew what Declan Rice was about. James Maddison, value for money, 100%, but you knew what he was about. Vicario, his first game against Brentford, he looked a little bit wobbly. A little bit. Since then, he's made some saves that I actually don't know how he's done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
going to put Vicario out there.
Do you know what, Majestic? In the spirit of goodwill, 'tis the season to be jolly, and the spirit of generosity that should exist in the lull between Christmas and New Year. I'm not particularly passionate about this. I think it could be Declan Rice. I think it could be James Maddison. I think it could be Vicario. And if you're passionate about it being Vicario, ding dong merrily on high. There you go.
Can we clip that up? He's giving some love to a Spurs player. Somebody clip that up and put it all over YouTube.
Yeah, that's it now.
TikTok.
That's it till this time next year.
As soon as I leave the building, he'll be waxing lyrically bad about us. Right, this one's... I don't like to be negative, but we're going to... Anyway. Underachiever.
Okay, I think this is fairly easy as well. I think it is Onana, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Are we doing this as an individual or a team? Because if it's a team, if we're doing the underachiever being the team, then it's Chelsea. If we're doing it as an individual, then I'll put Onana on the table. I'm prepared to hear some thoughts. I'm prepared to take counsel.
Mason Mount.
Do you not think the injuries do him a bit of a favour in this debate?
Injury or not, I ain't seen anything from Mason Mount to allow him to wear the number 7 shirt at Manchester United.
What about Pochettino? What about off the pitch?
Oh, yeah, but Pochettino's inherited like a million different players.
I mean, he spent £400 million of his own money as well. I mean, he is responsible for £400 million.
About 2 players.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think Onana's been the underachiever? Do you think that's harsh?
Do you know why I think it's a fair shout? Manchester United, a club like Manchester United, the scale of the club, they are out of Europe altogether, by the way. They're out of Europe altogether because of him. Like, remember how many goals they scored? Højlund's top goal scorer in Europe. You know, they scored enough goals to progress through that group. The reason why they are out of Europe altogether, which is a new low for Manchester United, you know, they're out of Europe in December. The reason why, and there is only one reason why, and that is because of Onana's dodgy performance after dodgy performance in that fairly easy group.
I'm going to throw one at you.
Go on.
Jadon Sancho.
Jadon Sancho as an underachiever...
£275,000 a week. Has fallen out of his manager. From the kid that we saw at Dortmund, who was supposedly, you know, look at what Jude Bellingham's doing.
Yeah.
That's kind of the trajectory we expected from Jadon Sancho, no?
Absolutely. The problem I think we have with Sancho is that because of the politics between him and Ten Hag.
Jordan, I'm not going to play you. I don't like you.
I know. I don't think he behaved well. You know when he put that pinned tweet to the top of his feed.
But that's terrible, man. You can't do that.
I think it's very difficult here.
Imagine having a bus up with a gaffer up here and then putting a tweet up.
I know. And
you wouldn't.
No, but then pinning it and leaving it.
Oi, have a look at that, gaffer.
It clearly shows you that Sancho believes that he can outlive Ten Hag at Manchester United.
I don't think he can.
We'll see. We'll see. I think it's harsh on Sancho though because he's not playing.
Okay, how are we going to agree?
Okay, who's underachieving? Enzo Fernandez? When you think about what he came in to do, when you think about what he was supposed to have done, the player he was supposed to be,
it has to be a Chelsea or Manchester United player.
And also, I think it has. Okay, let's create some metrics here. I agree, it has to be one of those two clubs. I also, if you're happy with this, I think it has to be somebody who's played. So I'm going to take Mount off the table. If you're
Mount's
happy.
Off the table. Okay.
Mount off the table, Sancho off the table, because I think we have to have performances and data to judge, and therefore, Enzo Fernandez came in as a big thing, and you know this season was supposed to be a season. And he certainly hasn't delivered. Andre Onana was supposed to be the difference maker. You know, he was the goalkeeper playing in the Champions League final that was supposed to elevate Manchester United. It was supposed to allow Ten Hag to play the Ten Hag system. It was going to be a completely different Manchester United team because of David De Gea being moved on. And it really hasn't worked.
What do you reckon of this one? Best goal. Sarabia, I think that's how you're saying it, the Wolves player, against Spurs. The first touch to take it off the pace and the ball followed by the volley, all in the same movement. More skillful than any bicycle kick. That's from Phil. It was a great goal. He'll never score one like that again. Never.
Yeah, it reminded me a bit of that, one of the best goals I've ever seen. Do you remember that Kasami scored a goal at Selhurst Park for Fulham?
Yeah. It came over his shoulder.
Came over his shoulder, took it on his chest, volleyed it into the opposite corner. Gaze will never hit a ball like that again in his life. But that goal could easily be the best goal in the Premier League ever. But because it was a Fulham player doing it against Crystal Palace, I don't think it gets anywhere near the recognition that it deserves.
Let's talk about the underachiever of this season. Let's head over to the phone lines on 03717 223344. Paul's a Manchester United fan. He joins us. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, gents.
Talking about underachievers this season, Rory mentioned Onana. I mentioned Mason Mount. Is there anyone you think who's been an underachiever this half of the season?
Yeah, I think I could probably echo the view around Onana. He's not performed in the same way as what you've mentioned. The thing is, though, when you talk around underachieving, we're talking about people who are getting regular starts in the team, expectations from the fans and fellow players and other individuals, how they would perform and they put a performance in for you. For me, and again, I mentioned it to your colleague, might be controversial, but for me, Marcus Rashford has been the underachiever at Manchester United this season. Consistently started, not within the goals he has been in the previous years, and certainly for me personally, a real lack of effort that he demonstrates on the pitch. So I would have expected more from him this season.
Where do you think this sort of dip in form has come from, Paul? Do you think the lack of potential harmony in the dressing room? Obviously, we've seen what's happening with Sancho. You know, you don't know how close Marcus Rashford is with Sancho, etc. We don't really know the ins and outs of the dressing room. But where's that dip come from? Because I was watching some prime Rashford the other day, and my goodness, when he's on form, he's fire.
Mate, this time last year, he's one of the best players in the world.
And that is precisely my point. You expect him to kick on from that form and then continue to achieve the year after. There was the period in time around the contract extension that went into some negotiations and some doubt whether he would stay and whether he would go. Whether there's been influences from other players, I don't know. We may have seen that from Pogba years ago. We seem to have got rid of that. But for me, he's a Manchester lad. I'm a big fan of Marcus because of the way he's performed. I was there in the derby when he scored the winner in 2-1 last season. So, you know, I'm a real fan of him and I really wish him to do well. But when I consider underperforming, it's when they don't meet the expectations that you've got. Mason Mount's been injured all season, so he's not been able to show us what his potential is. Onana, I agree with you on that, but I think my expectations were far greater for Rashford this season.
Thank you very much, Paul. It's a great shout, Marcus Rashford.
Shout.
With everything that he's saying and the way he's put it in the context,
I think he might be right.
I think we've got to back him.
I think he might be right.
I'm going to change it now to, we're going to say our underachiever is Marcus Rashford because, like I said, I was watching peak Rashford the other day. My word. Turn on a sixpence, bang.
He made the case really well, didn't he? He spoke about it. Are you playing? What are the expectations? What do you represent to that club? And are you letting that club down? And I think all of those things chime with Marcus Rashford. It's an excellent call, that.
Absolutely. So we're moving on now to the next one, which is the best manager. Now, the best manager of the season. You look at Klopp, for
Don't
example.
even try it. Before we go any further, don't even try it.
Who?
You know what you're thinking of doing.
Well,
I know you very well. Don't even think.
No.
Don't even try it. I don't want to hear the name mentioned.
Big Ange.
Yes. Don't even go there.
No, my first person I was going to mention was Klopp.
Okay,
Because
fine. But I don't even want an honourable mention.
honourable
Fine.
mentions. Well, speaking of managers, before we go any further, I've just seen a manager's name pop up on the screen. Let's head back to the phone lines because, of course, this is your show. We want to hear from you. 03717 223344. If it's the same person from our Sunday show, this guy's a legend. Erkan joins us. Is that you, Erkan?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, Majestic. How are you?
Hey! Erkan, I'm not with Alan today.
Oh my God, Mr. Alan's the Pardew, man. This is the guy I called for. I love that guy.
You've got the B-Tech Alan Pardew, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Listen, Mr. Rory Jennings, I am a big fan of you, brother. Your haircut, your hair is so beautiful. I think you are using Vidal Sassoon because your hair is lovely, bro.
Hey, this is the best call that we've ever had. Oh, mate, you're fantastic. Thank you so much.
Listen, you have a fantastic YouTube channel as well, brother. Your YouTube is unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable.
He's big Chelsea, Erkan.
Thank you very much, Erkan. I really appreciate that.
Okay, did you have a nice Christmas?
It's a relaxed one, not do anything crazy because I don't drink alcohol, but it was a good one, it was nice with the family.
We've been talking about the halfway through the season awards. Now, you've been very up and down this season, Erkan. You first called us on the final word on the first day of the season. You said Pochettino out. A couple of weeks ago, you said you was going to get in the top 4. We clipped that up. Do you think Poch is the manager of the season so far?
I don't think he's the manager of the season, but I think he's done okay with what he's got. You know what I mean? I think when you look at a club like Chelsea, we spent over £1 billion. It's hard to say he's been good, he's been bad. It's not his team, but he should have done better. So he's not one of the best. No way.
Do you think he's the biggest underachiever of the season so far?
I think yes, 100% biggest underachiever, considering he's come from doing a big successful time at Tottenham. He done well at PSG. It's not hard to do well at PSG. You got Mbappe, the Neymars, and all these kind of players. But at Chelsea, massive underachiever, brother, because he's not done anything. He's not done any achievements for us this time.
Rory,
I think Erkan's onto something.
Erkan said on the day one he wanted Poch out.
Day one.
Day one.
Yeah, I respect the principle. I respect the principle. He's far too Tottenham for the Chelsea job. I think that Erkan is onto something.
You are a man of my heart, brother, because you know what? I said the same thing. You can't hire a man from Tottenham and bring him to Chelsea. It doesn't work, You can't be doing this kind of things. And I did want him out because I don't think we are a club who achieves things. We win things. We win trophies, Champions League, Premier League titles. He's won nothing with us, So I'm upset with him. I'm very upset.
Erkan, New Year's Eve going to be a busy night for you, obviously in the cab. Are you got a big one planned?
To be honest, brother, I'm going to be working the whole time. I like to charge people triple for this trip because they come. Yeah, you have to understand, bro. It's a business, and I'm here to provide for my family. So most of the time, I charge people. If the fare is £10, I will charge £30. Because it's New Year's Eve, and they are drunk as well. So it's better for me. They don't understand the price.
No. Erkan, I wish you happy. I'm so glad Erkan called on our New Year's Eve show. He's brilliant. Someone said Erkan, there's no way that's a real person and not a paid actor.
It's genuine, isn't it?
Erkan, mate, he's more Chelsea than you. Right, best manager so far. It's not Pochettino, okay?
No, it's definitely not. But I think again, there's only
It's not
one.
Big Ange.
Don't even try it, Majestic. I know what you're doing. I've got a terrible feeling how you're going to try and steal this conversation.
No, listen, I've said it before about Jurgen Klopp, right? There's not many managers that are actually there to see the rebuild of a team. Mm-hmm. Now, Jurgen Klopp's rebuilt
Liverpool 2.0, isn't it?
Liverpool 2.0. Had a season away from like the top 4, for example. They ended up in Europe, which was really good considering how last season was going. Top of the table at the moment. Title challenge is on.
Absolutely.
Jurgen Klopp is an honourable mention.
Only an honourable mention, though. I think Klopp is mesmerising. He's world-class, one of the best managers in the world, arguably the best manager in the world, but it isn't him.
What about the guy that's just won the World Club Championship, Pep Guardiola?
He won a treble and the Club World Cup, but it isn't him either. Again, we can acknowledge the brilliance of Guardiola in the way that we acknowledge the brilliance of Jurgen Klopp, but neither of whom are manager of the year. There are only two possibilities for the answer here, and I'm happy with either of them.
Go for it.
But it must be one of these two. The answer is either A, Gary O'Neill, or B, Unai Emery. That's it.
Can I throw a third at you?
Hit me.
Rob Edwards.
I'll listen.
Because bringing, Luton up to the Premier League and, everything we saw that happened a couple of weeks ago, the vitality, etc., and dealing with that, the games that they've been playing at home, the results that they got a draw against Liverpool.
Yeah.
They should have got something against Spurs.
And Arsenal.
Yeah. Manchester City, a little unlucky. When we're looking at the Premier League table right now and Sheffield United slumped at the bottom, Burnley second, Luton Town are giving it a go.
I know.
They're giving it a go.
I know. They've won a couple of games in a row as well, which is very significant. For everyone above them, the Brentfords, the Palaces, the Forests, they're going to be very worried to be watching Luton starting to pick up points. But it isn't Rob Edwards.
It's Gary O'Neill.
It's Gary O'Neill or Unai Emery. I'm happy with either. My vote would be Emery, but I'm happy with either. Do
you know what? Considering Aston Villa were in a relegation battle under Steven Gerrard into Europe, currently third in they're third, aren't they, at the moment?
They're third in the league, and they're likely to make Champions League football.
And they're likely to go top of the league.
And possibly. I think they'll win the European competition that they're in as well.
Okay, we're going to say it, Emery.
And again, Unai.
And again, back in the Premier League after a stint at Arsenal where I think he was unfairly sort of...
maligned. Maligned, not treated right, not treated with the right respect. He had them in a European final. Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, but Arsenal were there. Arsenal got to a final. Considering their pitiful record in Europe, it's not to be sniffed at.
Best game in the Premier League so far.
Easy.
Man City, Chelsea.
Yeah, agreed.
4-4.
Agreed. 4-4. That could be that. I think that goes up. That goes up there with the very best games. That's up there with the 4-3 Newcastle, Liverpool, and whatever else.
It's going to be in the Premier League years to come. So I think that's how we go. So just to recap mine and Rory's personal opinions, we've gone for best goal, Garnacho.
Yeah.
Best signing, Vicario. Underachiever, Marcus Rashford. We were convinced by a Man United fan on the phone. Best manager, Gary O'Neill. And the best game, Manchester City against Chelsea.
On AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.